You're watching the News Edge Early Edition.
And thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jonathan Martin. Tonight we start with a guilty verdict in the death of Ahmaud Arbery. After 2 days of deliberating, a jury in Glenn County, Georgia found all 3 men on trial for his murder guilty. All 3 men now facing life in prison.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty.
A jury of 11 whites and 1 black came back with a verdict for the 3 men charged in the killing of Ahmaud Arbery. Travis McMichael, who admittedly opened fire on the 25-year-old, was found guilty on all counts. His father and co-defendant, Greg McMichael, was found guilty of all counts except for malice murder. And William Bryan, who recorded the infamous video, was found guilty of 3 counts of felony murder, aggravated assault, false imprisonment, and criminal intent. The state prosecution team stood beside the Arbery family as they spoke outside the courthouse.
This was a gigantic team effort.
Lead prosecutor Linda Denikowski said this was about getting justice for Ahmaud Arbery.
And the verdict today was a verdict based on the facts. And when you present the truth to people and they can see it, they will do the right thing. And that's what this jury did today in getting justice for Ahmaud Arbery.
I just want to say thank you guys. Thank you. Thank each and every one of you who fought this fight with us. It's been a long fight. It's been a hard fight, but God is good.
Yes, he is.
I think the fact that this jury handed down the charge despite its composition was a reflection of those jurors who committed to the facts and came up with the conclusion, but it also is a reflection of how overwhelming the evidence was in this case. It would have been difficult for even what one of the defense attorneys called above a jury made up of all white males, 50-something, to come up with anything other than guilty on all charges, that they were being honest about the facts and the law.
We together did this. We all together, black, white, activists, faith members, lawyers, prosecutors. We did this together. We said, America, we will make us better than what we saw in that video.
No, those were the family attorneys you just heard from tonight. Attorney Benjamin Crump also has a legal office right here in Houston, and both men have been by the family's side since this all started back in February of last year. And tonight, we wanted to better understand exactly what these guilty verdicts mean. News Edge legal analyst Charles Adams broke it down for us.
Well, Travis McMichael, the man that actually pulled the trigger on the shotgun, was convicted of malice murder, what most states would call first-degree murder. The other 2 gentlemen were convicted of felony murder. What felony murder means is that a death occurred while you were committing some other felony. And here they pled it in a variety of ways. People are shocked. Well, how, if you only had 1 murder, you have 4 counts of felony murder? Because they tied that to all the underlying felonies. You had the aggravated assault with the shotgun, which is the pointing of the shotgun at Ahmaud, and then, of course, shooting him with the shotgun. You had the felony assault with the vehicle, which again is using the vehicle as a deadly weapon, thus an aggravated assault. I believe that was also the one that William Bryan was found not guilty of. He was not in that vehicle. Then, of course, you have the 2 allegations of false imprisonment, and all of those led to a death, ultimately, of Ahmaud Arbery. They were found guilty of the underlying felonies, thus they're guilty of the felony murder on each count.
There's been a lot, of course, made about a citizen's arrest and what power or rights neighbors or people have to do what they did. Is there a message or a lesson in this case, in this verdict?
Well, in Georgia, they're looking at changing that law now, but people shouldn't play police. But this also speaks to police need to be refocused on solving victim crime and thefts and little crimes, because they snowball into bigger crimes, especially when people feel like the police aren't doing anything and they take matters in their own hands. If you don't see somebody commit a crime, and it's very similar in Texas, no one saw Ahmaud commit a crime. They had no authority to make the arrest. But ultimately, I would always suggest call the police, and hopefully they will do their job. Don't try to do it for them.
It's also important to point out that all three men are also facing federal hate crimes charges. That trial is set to start in February, and all three men already, after today's verdict, are facing life in prison. So the only real question right now is if any of them will be granted the possibility of parole. Charles also says he thinks the only person who may get that opportunity is the man, Roddy Bryant, who recorded the crime.